For lesson 8's homework, we're going to do a little bit more work with some more challenging volume questions. So Sandra went to the local ice cream shop to get an ice cream cone. She notices that the cone has a diameter of 2.4 inches and a slanted height, that's going to be important, of 4.2 inches. Assume the entire cone is filled with ice cream and only half of a spherical scoop lies atop her cone. Then how many cubic inches of ice cream does she get in her single scoop cone? So if we look, if we have a diameter up there of 2.4, that really means we have a radius of 1.2 on each side. Now if we look at our volume of a cone, we'll start with the cone piece. We are 1/3 pi r squared h. Well, I have a radius, but I need to find that height. So to find that height, we are going to be Pythagorean theorem. X squared plus 1.2 squared equals 4.2 squared. So as I do that, 1.2 squared is 1.44, and 4.2 squared is 17.64. I'll subtract on both sides. I get x squared equals 16.2. Now I take the square root, I get an irrational number. So what I'll do is I'll just keep it as the square root of 16.2 to make my life kind of easy here. So then the volume of a cone is going to be 1/3 pi times 1.2 squared times the square root of 16.2. So as I take a second here to plug that into my calculator, I'm going to get probably an irrational number, judging by the square root of the 16.2, and I get 6.0694, and again, we'll carry our 4 decimal place rule. Then I get the volume of my hemisphere. So I'm 4/3 pi r cubed times a half. So whenever you get these cones and cylinders and hemispheres stacked on top of each other, they always end up sharing a radius. So in this case, we're going to have 1.2 cubed. So 4/3 pi 1.2 cubed, and then times a half, is going to give us 3.6191. So then our total volume here, when we add it together, is going to be that 3.6191 plus 6.0694, and that gives us 9.6, which to the nearest cubic inch is 10 cubic inches as a total volume for our ice cream cone. As we look at the second part of this question, how many cubic inches of ice cream would she get if she got 2 scoops? Assume that all scoops of ice cream are equal in size. Well, we know the scoop is going to be that hemisphere times 2. Basically, we need to find that full sphere volume. So if we just take out the divided by 2 piece and we do 4/3 pi times 1.2 cubed, we are going to end up with 7.2382. So if we add that to the 10 that was already in the ice cream cone, we are going to end up with 17.2382, which is 17 cubic inches of ice cream. So what we did was, again, we took the hemisphere and we said, all right, well, a full sphere will be an additional scoop. So we did the same thing without the 1/2 to find out that each scoop has a volume of 7.2382. We added it to the 10 that was already in the cone and got 17 cubic inches of ice cream in 2 scoops.